They can't even bring themselves to answer the question straightforward. This is a very immense problem, an intense problem of biblical proportion. Podcasting from Brooklyn and New York, this is the Brooklyn Baritone Podcast. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me on this fine afternoon that I'm recording this podcast. But you know what? Whenever you choose to join me, evening, nighttime, late at night, morning, afternoon, it doesn't matter. I appreciate the likes, the looks, the listens, and of course, I'd appreciate you hitting that subscribe and notification bell on my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone. Do that if you want to, no pressure, though I would like the algorithm to swing in my favor. I'm going to jump straight into it. As of late, of course, I had a recent conversation with someone, but this is also in the headlines too, with the recent confirmation hearing of the President Joe Biden appointed Ketanji Brown Jackson on the question, what is a woman? Keep it short, she said, I'm not a biologist. Now, in order for you to get to that level in your career, get to that level in politics as an elected official, you have to be kind of a sharp person. You definitely have to be an intelligent person. And this woman, Ketanji Brown Jackson, is a very intelligent woman to maintain her career as a United States Circuit Court judge and now Supreme Court. You know, what is a woman? Let's keep it simple as far as we know it, as we have known it and identified it as. If it's not a man, it's a woman. A woman has lady parts, basically the parts needed biologically to not just engage in sexual activity as a woman to receive, but also to carry and give birth to a child. Just really simple terms. Now, I understand that there are so many women out there that don't have that ability because whatever medical reasons or whatever issues happen to them internally or whatever. But they were born biologically with those parts. And I understand now we can also ease in like, oh, what about hermaphrodites? I'm not talking about hermaphrodites, and we know very well exactly the differences between men and women. And then there's not that much people who are born hermaphrodites, though they are out there. And I find it a little bit ironic that with the whole movement for gender identity, that is one of the people who I don't really hear much from. You don't really hear much of a big iota of with the whole movement and the whole bringing awareness to gender identity. And you would figure that they would be in the forefront because they were biologically born in a certain manner that's not normal compared to everyone else. As far as what a woman is, I have an idea what a woman is because in my younger years, I spent a lot of time chasing a lot of women. I have an idea what they are, but I do have an understanding biologically what a woman is. Now, the fact that we have to have these elected officials on high positions, they can't even bring themselves to answer the question straightforward. This is a very immense problem, an intense problem of biblical proportions, literally. The thing is, so many people are outraged by it, and quite understandably so. Because now if you could now blur the lines, skew the meaning of what was always the standard. People want to, in a brave new world, change the definition for so many things. So now down is going to mean up. Left is going to mean right. Right is already wrong, basically, and wrong is right. So when you start skewing everything, you have no foundation. When you have no real foundation and proper standards, that's because solid standards are going to flow through with everything that you do. Guess what? You have chaos. It doesn't matter how nice you make it look. It doesn't matter how much parades you have. It doesn't matter how much movements, how much hashtags you do. It's going to be chaos because we are no longer having a straightforward, solid foundation on what is truth. Just like Pontius Pilate said, what is truth? So now here we are. We have people basically changing what we know is a woman or a man, whatever the case is. We have people who are talking about, and of course it's ruffled a lot of feathers with a lot of transgender women, competing in all female sports and just, beating women, because they still have basically the genetic makeup of what a man is, because they still basically are men, even if they went through some kind of surgery, whatever, because you still have a certain type of bone density and muscle density that women just don't have. I'm not saying that women cannot be born with these things, but overall, you were born with a specific tool set because it was a specific design for your tool set to work, whether you use them or not. Even people who may abuse them or not, you were born a certain specific way. And then now when we can't even answer a simple question now, because here I am talking about it, and I'm very cognizant of the fact that people could easily cancel me. People can easily ban me. I could get banned on certain social platforms for speaking about this. Just stop to think about this. A regular person like me on YouTube, Rumble, on Instagram, I'm laying out what it's supposed to be a woman, what's supposed to be a man. Can you ever imagine that someone would be scrutinized or ridiculed or have their platform threatened to be banned, to be silenced? From the last thing I talked about was social terrorism. Because I want to say and recognize that, no, a woman is a woman, a man is a man. Simple as that. It's crazy, but I don't want to spend too much time on this anyways. I think I went on long enough. Many people would not be surprised and taken aback and appalled. You could be irritated, you could be frustrated, even sometimes disheartened. If people understood what the book said, yes, I'm going to talk about the Bible. It spoke about these things. And if we really understood real origins, I'm always talking about origin history of things because it fascinates me, and it's good to connect the dots so we know where we were. If you know where you come from, then you're going to know where you're going to end up, because we're going to be doomed to repeat the same mistakes if we don't understand history. And that book is definitely a historic document and also a prophetic document, because if you studied it, you would know this is where man is going to go. And you know exactly what's going to happen. And these things are transpiring basically as it was laid out in the book. So a lot of people who are supposed to be churchgoers or Christians, you're not supposed to be. You should not be surprised. You should be praying more. You should be praying for other people who are going through certain struggles, not just gender identity or sexual struggles, or any kind of struggle whatsoever, whether financially, emotionally, whatever the case is. You're supposed to be ready. Yes, it's going to make you feel a way to see things are being turned upside down. And then people now, it's going to be just like Idiocracy, that movie. Me and my boy were just talking about that not too long ago. Where Terry Crews, President Camacho, and then people just didn't have any brains anymore. So as opposed to using water to water their lawn, they're using Gatorade to water the lawn. This is where we're at. We are there. So if you don't know the Father, get to know Elohim. I'm telling you, I'm begging you. Crack open a book. Look at a sermon. Fall on your knees and talk to him. Understand what's going on. Yes, it's going to be disheartening. Yes, there's a lot of things that are it's straight up insane, and I'm in almost amazement to see that it's actually playing out. The fact that now people can't even say, I don't know what a woman is. I'm not a biologist. Grown person has a whole career in an industry and profession where you need to be intellectually sound and ready for anything, because you can't flinch when you're in a position like that. But now, with all that you've done, all the college you've done, all the connects that you had in life, all the experiences you had as United States Circuit Court judge, now all of a sudden, you don't know what a woman is. Anyways, you want to hear the rest of my content, please visit my website at brooklynbaritone.com. I also got merch, so guess what? There's something there for everybody. You can see more of my content, my video content, on YouTube on my channel, Brooklyn Baritone. I also am on LinkedIn under Corey Ashley. You can find me on Instagram and on Facebook. You can get the audio versions of these podcasts on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music under podcasts, and other various podcast platforms. I also air on local Brooklyn cable television 4 times a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Verizon, Optimum, RCN, and Spectrum. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Be cool out there. Anyways, you'll hear from me next week. I'm out.